This is the story of the greatest con artist duo in history. They arrived in a new city armed with a ridiculous plan: sell a magical gold-pooping donkey to the rich merchants. The cunning scam began when the donkey appeared to cough up gold coins in the bustling market, immediately capturing the greed of the city's wealthiest traders. The con artist had secretly stuffed the donkey's mouth with gold coins against its will. When the donkey brayed, the coins spilled out. Without hesitation, negotiations began, and a senior merchant bought the donkey for a huge sum. Hours later, the merchant realized he was the victim of a stupid scam. He and the angry townsfolk rushed to the con man's house and knocked on the door. His wife answered, claiming her husband was out, but promised to send the dog, which would immediately bring him back. She released the dog, which was locked up, and it promptly fled, never looking back. However, a short while later, her husband returned, accompanied by a dog that looked exactly like the one that had run away. The frustrated merchants completely forgot why they had come and started negotiating for the new dog. One of them bought it for another massive sum. He rushed home and instructed his wife to release the dog to bring him back. But they never saw the dog again. The merchants realized they had been scammed once more. They stormed the couple's house but only found the wife. They sat down to wait for the husband. When the con artist arrived, he looked at them, then at his wife, and angrily demanded why she hadn't performed her hospitality duties for these generous guests. When the wife retorted that this was his duty, the man flew into a fabricated rage. He pulled a fake knife from his pocket, one with a retractable blade, and stabbed her in the chest, where she had concealed a balloon filled with red dye. The wife immediately played dead. The men scolded him for his recklessness, but he calmed them, claiming, "Do not worry. I have killed her many times before, and I can bring her back to life again." He quickly pulled a flute from his pocket and began to play. The wife immediately jumped up, full of life and vigor, and rushed to make coffee for the astonished men. The men forgot everything they had come for and started negotiating to buy the flute. One of them bought it for a tremendous price. The triumphant buyer rushed home, stabbed his wife, and played the flute over her for hours, but she did not wake up. The next morning, the other merchants asked what had happened. Afraid to admit he had killed his wife, he lied, claiming the flute worked and that he successfully resurrected her. The other merchants immediately borrowed the flute and each killed his own wife. When the chaos reached its peak, the merchants finally tracked down the con artist. They grabbed him, put him in a sack, and took him to throw him into the sea. But the scam wasn't over yet. What happened to the con artist inside the sack? Find out in part 2.